Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I didn't do a whole lot of videoing on this most recent build. It's the same RS Racecraft Skookum 13 kit. However, this time it has a supercharged Yamaha SHO engine in it. So I figured that since the hull is the same, that I wasn't going to do a whole new series on it. However, I think I've changed my mind. And with that Yamaha in here, there was quite a few lessons that I learned on how the plumbing all went into this thing. However, it's already all together. So I do have two more builds. I just got recalled back to my main job in the real world. So I'm going to head back there, and I've kind of been just doing this mini thing on the side to take up time more than anything so I don't just sit at home and spend money. So I have two more builds to do, that Honda Turbo and another Yamaha SHO. So I'm going to do videos on both of those because I honestly think that there's a lot to the plumbing and the rigging of the throttles, all the different sensor switches, the trim switch, the reverse lever, all that kind of stuff. So this boat turned out pretty clean, pretty happy with it. I did a full, Yamaha dash forward or the reverse trim, in dash, start and stop levers. Got some nice razor seats, and I've just been very happy with this build overall. I just took it out Thanksgiving weekend with my brother, and we also did a tune to the ECU and RS Racecraft tune on this thing. And I can't honestly remember the SHOs. They're 210, 215 horsepower stock. With that flash, you're going to get about 50 plus horsepower in there. So I'm going to say 260, anywhere from there to 270 horsepower. And holy cow, what a difference that was in the performance. There's so much that goes with just horsepower. It's not just all about speed. We were getting, with the two of us in here, about 58 miles an hour off the GPS. I think I'd easily hit 60 by myself, but it's not all about speed. That horsepower translates to turning abilities, and that's really big when you're going downstream in a pretty swift current and you have a hard corner waiting for you at the end. It's, if you don't have the power to, you got to do two things. You got to point the bow in a direction and have the power to pull you through that corner. Man, this thing was like nothing. I don't really take my sprint boats on the river and have to deal with currents and stuff like that. But any of those, the outboard sleds I've driven, or the Kawasaki two-stroke, they don't have anywhere near this power. So it almost kind of made some of those things easy. You know, some of those downstream turning currents are pretty tricky, but this thing, man, it was so nice to have that instant power. The other thing that Ronnie recommended and we put in this thing, it was a two-stage inducer impeller on here. So I couldn't even almost hardly break the thing free unless I did a spin out in it, 360 like I did at the boat ramp. But that thing was hooked up all day long. And when the power was there, it was just touch the throttle, and man, it was just pointed and pulling in the direction you want to go. So I will do a full video on that. So here comes the ba-doom surprise to the Jolly Roger channel. Everybody probably, well, to this point, I've only really done mini boats, but the Jolly Roger 907 thing is more than just boats to me. I'm into snowmobiles, I'm into cars, motorcycles, you name it. So without further ado, here's the latest addition to the Jolly Roger channel, and I'm about to take a pretty significant road trip on it. And I literally just got this day before yesterday and put the first few miles on it yesterday. Well, here it is. 2020 C8 Corvette came in. I've ordered this thing over well, it was exactly 1 year ago that I ordered this thing. And I'm pretty ecstatic to have gotten it. The sun is kind of washing out this color. This color is called a Rapid Blue. That might show the color a little bit better. Anyway, this is the new Corvette I've been waiting on for 365 days. I ordered it November 30th of 2019, and I got it November 30th, 1 year later. There was GM strikes, there was the COVID shutdown, there was a week-long shutdown for part supply, and just, oh, and it also sat in Kent, Washington at the train yard for about a week and a half. So there was, man, this thing is just taking forever, but here it is. I am just super stoked to have this thing, and I'm leaving actually tomorrow. I was, you know, one thing about the weather here in the Northwest is it is kind of crappy this time of year for driving a car like this. So I'm like, you know what? I missed out on all the good weather. I've got time off still. Why not take the car to the weather? So my girlfriend Tina and I, we are leaving in the morning for a road trip to California in this thing. We're going to go down the, I've never driven down the Oregon coast. I've seen most of the California coast, a good portion of the Washington coast, but I don't think I've ever really seen the Oregon coast. So I'm pretty excited to, we're taking this thing down. Our first stop is Coos Bay, Oregon, and then we're going to head on down. Probably, we're not going to go any further than Santa Barbara. I kind of want to avoid LA County if I can. And anyway, so here's the new addition to the channel. Be looking for some videos from it. I'm gonna do some drone shots down the coast, and hopefully when the weather starts to get better, like I said, I like performance stuff, so I'm gonna track this thing, do some onboard footage of that. And I just also today I just got signed up for a driving class down at Spring Mountain in Las Vegas, so I'm pretty excited about that, where they actually teach you how to push this car and give you some driving technique tips and tricks on stuff like that, with a lot of even classroom stuff in there. So anyway, that's the channel, the new channel edition, and hope can't wait to get this thing out and stretch its legs a little bit and show off everybody what the thing can do. Anyway, stand by for some shots as we make our trip down the coast.